Hey guys, welcome back to Matt's Garage. Today I'm going to be working on the lawn cart again. After installing the custom exhaust manifold last time, which worked pretty well, it sounds really cool. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's the last one on my channel there, right before this one. So today I'm going to be working on the lawn cart. I have decided I want to try to make some mud guards for the front wheels because they are definitely going to shoot mud at us when we take this thing for a rip. If you look at how it currently is, it's just wide open space, and the seat being right there, it's just going to fling right in your face as you're driving along. So when I cut out the body here to put the car seat in, there was a big chunk of steel left over. So I figured what I could try to do is repurpose the steel and make some fenders. So I figured I would start by cutting it roughly in half to figure out what kind of shape I can get out of these. Because like I really only need from here to here to kind of block the mud from hitting anything. So I've got all this extra bit that I don't know what I need to use it for. I might make some brackets out of it, maybe some gussets to reinforce it. Not quite sure yet, but it's pretty lightweight. So obviously I've got to grind down some of the paint to get it on there. Next step is to kind of try to figure out how it's going to fit, because the wheel itself is, you know, it's a good distance off of the frame, so I need to make just a cover around here. But then there's also, if you rotate this all the way, you know, it's got to cover all the way up to the frame. I'm not sure yet. So I cut the excess off. Much more manageable size now. And actually, I was thinking, with this extra lip, I could use that as my support. Roughly there. That should block out any of the mud from hitting the driver, first of all, but any of the engine components too. Which means I need to make a little tiny wall on here, on this edge here, to connect to the frame, just to prevent it from chalking up at the drivetrain here. Okay, so I've welded in one fender just to see how it looks. It's not terrible. I actually don't mind it. Mud going out to the side is not a problem. I'm just trying to protect the driver. And it clears the wheel all the way. So kind of cool to reuse the metal that's already from this cart on the cart. So I need to still build the reinforcement wall right here, because this just kind of flops in place. But that'll be really cool when that's done. Nice little wall here out of some more of this scrap, and then the fenders are good at that point. Yeah, I really want to ride this thing. It sounds really good. The steering good, the seat's nice and comfy, the engine's powerful. Just hang with me while I get the parts, because the idea for this is we're going to reuse the original transmission. So I have speed 1, 2, and 3 plus reverse. But to do that, I need to get not really get, but I need to make a bevel box. Purchasing the box would be like a couple grand, whereas just the 2 bevel gears that I need is about 250 bucks, give or take. So once that bevel box is built back there and attached to the original transmission, then I can just do a chain drive straight through the box. And I've set it up so that the drivetrain will actually clear all of this box perfectly. It won't interfere with the original frame. Well, I ran into the first problem of this build. Putting the fender on this side isn't going to work as easy as the other side, because I have a half an engine hanging over. So this one's going to involve a little more creativity to get the fender to fit this area. Hey, so change of wardrobe day 2. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with the second fender for the lawn carts. So I'm out here. It's a little colder today, hence the high-rise sweater, zipped right up. We actually had our first snowfall today, so cold weather, here we go. So I'm preparing a piece of metal to kind of fill in this gap here between the fender and the frame. I've stripped all the paint down, I mean, as best as I can with a flat disc, but good enough. And I have to cut it here, and I figured I'd show you guys what I'm working with. Currently, I don't have a bench vise. However, I do have this Mastercraft clamp. It's a 5-inch clamp, but you know, any clamp will do. Just crank it down on the table so I can hold it still. That way it's not, you know, trying to crawl away from me with the grinder. So I'm going to cut it right here, and then I'm going to grab a Sharpie and trace that out on there, and then try to cut the profile as best I can before I weld it in. Because right now, the booger welds that are on there, the real gross bits there, they're holding really nice, but as you can see, it's really flappy if I don't add a support along this line. Now, to make this work, I have cut 2 separate pieces. I got video of cutting in this one, but I never got video of this one. This is the first one that you saw. But what I have to do now is I have to connect these together. Like, I got to weld them together because one piece is not long enough to fill the gap, so I need 2 pieces. Looks like one piece to me. Now we can measure it out and cut it to profile. So I've marked out the profile. Not the greatest cut in the world, but yeah, we're gonna cut that real quick with the grinder, and then we'll get down on the cart, weld it in place, and we'll call that a day. We'll probably end up making the second fender either off camera or in a separate video due to how long this is actually taking me. Pretty good to me, right on the line. All right, now the fun part, trying to weld this in place while holding it still. Unfortunately, I haven't picked up any welding magnets yet. But like I said, as the channel grows, I will eventually get more tools and better tools and see where things go with that. But she fits nicely, so just time to tack her in place and then give her a solid weld. Well, almost. There she goes. That's a finished fender. I ever did see one. Nice and solid. I might add some rigidity. Now I do have the lawn cart up on a tire jack so I can check full wheel travel to make sure it's not going to hit anything. So far so good. Thank you once again for watching Matt's Garage. We finished the one fender. It's nice and solid. The other one's going to be a bit of a doozy because of the engine. So the shape is a little out of my grasp at this current point in time. I have to figure out how to make it work. But yeah, thank you once again for tuning into Matt's Garage. If you liked the video, go ahead, leave a like. If you disliked it, go ahead, dislike it. Subscribe if you aren't, if you want to see future content, and maybe share this with some friends who might be interested. Have a good one.